Alright, we are back with more Goo TV Hearthstone Arena. We're about to start our third trip into the arena. We get to still do so with play money with the Blizzard Bucks. See what we get for choices here. Mage, I'm so-so with. Warlock, I've never played, and Druid, I don't think I've ever played either. So, I guess we'll just kick off Mage. Yeah, why not? I would definitely appreciate any sort of constructive criticism on my deck selection. This is still a fairly new game to me, so I'm still learning all the cards that are even possible, much less, you know, what really works well together. I do have some experience with cards and collectible card games in the past, so this isn't an entirely new concept to me, although the mechanics of this particular game still can trip me up on occasion. This is my third trip in. Last trip I played as a Druid very poorly, went 2 and 3, so we're hoping to make something better out of this one. So our choices here: Counterspell, which I kind of like, but the way secrets work in this game, I think it plays into people that are unfamiliar with the game, but not necessarily ones that are, because late game, if I wanted to counter something big, a knowing opponent would sit there and drop something small first, in the case that it would be something that would trigger off of his summoning. So I'm hesitant to buy into that. But let's see what else we got here. Charge, Battlecry, 4/2, give your opponent a mana crystal. I don't like that at all. I feel like there are a lot better 3 mana cards than that. Or Cold Light, Oracle, Battlecry, each player draws 2 cards. I'm not a huge fan of that either, so I guess we're going to go against what we originally said and Counterspell. I don't like things that give opponents mana or card advantages. I just feel like all that's doing is helping their engine, and I'm afraid that their engine might be better than mine. Sorcerer's Apprentice is a pretty slick 2 mana card, comparable to other 3/2 cards, and could be pretty good. Nightblade, I don't feel is worth the cost. I guess potentially in a direct damage, but I really like the Flame Strike board clearing effect. Freeze all enemy minions is a pretty slick card for 2. And Ice Lance is kind of situational. Novice Engineer, drawing a card, always good. I'm going to actually take Frost Nova. So we got a lot of spells, so we got to start looking for creatures here. Whenever one of your other minions dies, draw a card. I don't feel like that's worth a 4/2 for 4 mana with that kind of ability. I don't feel is worth it. Instead, I think we'll go for the card drawing of Novice Engineer. Abomination's kind of a cool board clearing style card. It's a catch-up card, right? It's going to help you get back into the game. Taunt and Divine Shield, 4/5 for 6 mana. That's awfully expensive, but it's a taunt that's guaranteed to be able to take 1 hit. But again, smart players can peck at you for 1 and, you know, then do the Pint-Sized Summoner, on the other hand, I love as an early game card, so I'm going to take that ability to summon stuff for cheaper. Mana advantage is a huge deal in the first half of this game. So 3 mana to draw 2 cards, not bad at all. I love card drawing. Restore 2 health to all friendly characters. I find that healing is harder to pull off in this because you don't always have damaged minions. Or Stormpike Commando, 4/2 with a Battlecry of deal 2 damage. So it's guaranteed 2 damage, put the potential for 4, but can be squashed pretty easily with only 2 health. I think I'm going to take Arcane Intellect there. More card drawing, but second Flame Strike, it's hard to pass up. War Golem is really fairly average. Battlecry and Voodoo Doctor, restore 2 health. Not a very useful creature because you love to play it as an early card, but what's the chances of you being able to get the full benefit from it? Probably not real good. I do like Water Elemental, though, just for board control purposes. Fireball is a fantastic spell. Frostwolf Warlord I don't think is great, and Oasis Snapjaw is kind of average, so we're going to go with the Fireball. Violet Teacher. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice. Again, a little bit too combo heavy. 1 Light Warden. Whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. That would be a fantastic card in, you know, a priest deck, but I don't really have any healing so far, so that is kind of a drawback. I think I gotta take Violet Teacher in this case. Mana Wraith could be good. I suppose if I'm, you know, more heavy on spells, that would potentially hurt him more than it hurts me. As an early game play, maybe that slows him down a little bit. I don't know if it slows him down enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Violet Teacher. Probably a horrible decision. Harvest Golem's a pretty cool card, just because you end up with 2 creatures out of it. Raid Leader I find very difficult to use super effectively unless it's late game and you have a lot of creatures. And of course Sorcerer's Apprentice could benefit a deck that's heavy in spells like mine. So for 2 mana, 3/2, that's a solid early game card, so I'll go with that. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Could be potentially useful. Restore 4 health to your hero. 6 mana for a 5/4, but you also get 4 health back. I don't know how I feel about that, or more card draw. Boy, that's kind of a tough call for me. I don't really know. I think we're going to go with the card draw. How much card draw do I have in here? I already have 2 cards that allow me to draw more cards. This would be a 3rd. That's starting to get... That's probably the last card draw I'll take, but I'm going to take it now. Pyroblast. Deal 10 damage. That's very attractive to me. When your hero takes fatal damage, prevent it and become immune this turn. That's interesting. That's unequivocally good, but how good is Ice Block if you don't have enough damage to deal to the enemy, whereas deal 10 damage straight out? That means that in theory I could be playing a 20 life guy as long as Pyroblast would be guaranteed to show up in my hand, which of course it is not. 1 less for each damage your hero has taken. I don't know, oh boy. I think I got to go with Pyroblast because that seems to be good in pretty much all cases. I'm very much so leaning towards Fireball here. Could really use some lower mana creatures. Battlecry summon a 1/1 boar, so 2 creatures, 2/3, not bad. 5/2 is great for burst damage. 3/3 with Divine Shield, not the best for 4 mana, but not terrible either. But I'm not a huge fan of 6 mana for 5 direct damage, especially when I have so many direct damage things, so I think I'm going to take Razorfen Hunter for a little bit extra board control. We're not getting any more card draw. I swear to God. Summon a 1/1 Murloc Scout, not worth it. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 3 attack. I don't know, I'm curious if I can use my own ability. I think so I think we're going to take that. I'm pretty sure I can use my own direct damage ability to hit that and therefore automatically buff it. Frost Nova, I already have one of those, but could be real good, so I like the ability to control the board. Frostbolt, deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it. Not bad. 6/5 taunt, also not bad. Summon a 2/1 mechanical dragonling, excuse me. I don't have a ton of high mana cards. Well, I got the Pyroblast, couple of Flame Strikes. Those are really going to be my likely end game plays anyway, so we'll actually avoid those and take the Frostbolt for the sake of some early board control. Adjacent minions have +1 attack. Direwolf Alpha, not a bad card by any means. I might buy into that one. Or I could give a minion of my choice +2 attack. That's effectively the same thing, except for it's 4/4. And this is only a one-time thing, whereas this, if the partner minions end up dying, they get replaced by other minions. So I think I'm going to use Direwolf Alpha for a little lower mana cost as well as a little bit of versatility. Doomsayer has saved me before, so I might be a little biased towards that. But at the start of your turn, destroy all minions. For a deck that does not have a ton of minions in it, that's actually pretty useful. But however, it does have to live, long enough to actually make it around to the start of your turn again. Costs 1 less for each other minion on the battlefield. That's intriguing to me. Does that include... That has to include enemies, yeah. Destroying a minion with an attack of 7 or more. Awfully situational. Awfully situational, but a very cool ability, if need be. 3 mana for a 4/2 is not terrible either, I guess, so... Yeah, I guess, you know what, we'll take that just in case. That seems interesting. That's partially trial and error, I don't know. Mad Bomber I'm a huge fan of because the random number generation. Bloodsail Raider, 2 mana, gain attack equal to the attack of my weapon. I don't have any weapons, so that's probably pretty worthless. 2 mana for another... I'm going to take another Direwolf Alpha. 3/3 taunt for 3 mana, not bad. Especially in the early game, but doesn't typically live very long. Although I'm not a huge fan of these other options. God, I don't have a lot of taunt, so we'll do that. Could take 3rd Direwolf Alpha. Mirror Entity is a secret, you know, for making a copy of a character. Not terrible by any means, but again, it falls into that same secret issue that I had before. Fairy Dragon, on the other hand, is a fantastic early game card. Just because it has a little bit of extra survivability for 2 mana and 3 damage, so I think we're going to do that. Core Hound dies way too easily. Fen Creeper is really good, so we're going to actually go with that. Get a mid-range taunt creature. 3/1 charge, so basically 3 mana for 3 damage. Don't have any Ice Lances. I have some ways to freeze it. Right? More than one, or just the one way to freeze? Oh, the Water Elemental could freeze. Actually, I'll just take another Fairy Dragon. Arcane Missiles is kind of cool, 3 damage for 1. I do like Water Elemental, obviously. Cone of Cold is pretty cool as well. I think we're going to take the Water Elemental. 1/7 taunt. This was the death of me on the last game, or on my last arena run. If you didn't see it, you could definitely go check that out and see it. But I'm not a huge fan of that for 4 mana, so we're going to actually grab a Ice Lance finally. Oh, we can pick up a 3rd Flame Strike, which might actually be worth it. Yeah, I think we will. Polymorph is unequivocally good, but Sen'jin's Shieldmaster is not a bad card by any means either. I think we're going to take the Polymorph. And our final card, Abomination, deal 2 damage on Death Rattle. Spell damage +1, draw a card. Battlecry, deal 4 damage to himself, Injured Blade Master. So for 3 mana, you're getting a 4/3 creature. Again, that would work well in something where you had the opportunity to heal, but I think in this case we're going to take the Azure Drake because the spell damage +1 will factor into our deck. So there is our deck. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we'll find out shortly, taking our first trip in our first match in our 3rd trip to the arena. Like I said, constructive criticism welcome. Please comment the shit out of this so I can improve my play. I'm still relatively new to this. I've not been able to spend nearly as much time with it as I've wanted to. I was actually planning on doing an XCOM Enemy Within stream tonight. New series that I'm going to call the Virgin series, where we touch a game for the first time on the stream. So Mage versus Mage mirror match. Here we go, kicking it off. Flame Strike is absolutely terrible to have in my hand at this point in time. We'll hold on to Counterspell. Why not? So I was going to do a stream on Enemy Within tonight, Virgin series, but after having downloaded the game, or the expansion, I realized that I still needed to, and we can't do anything this turn. I realized that evidently it still needed to download a 7 gig patch, so that unfortunately didn't happen. Hopefully tomorrow that will, so definitely tune back in or subscribe. That's the easiest way to find out if I've got stuff. I don't think Pint-Sized Summoner necessarily automatically helps me immediately, so we're going to do Fairy Dragon. So yeah, definitely, you know, follow us, and that way you can get notified when that goes up, if it does. So either on YouTube or on Twitch, check us out. I'm very much so looking forward to that expansion. So he's going to coin for 3 mana to get a taunt. Okay, so we're going to end up trading, but he spent a coin and you know, something to get to that, so I really don't mind that trade at all. Now I start looking at Pint-Sized Summoner like it is a little more attractive, and I will totally trade this. I don't care at all. That doesn't bother me in the least. That's exactly what that card's for. He spent 3 mana and the coin to get to that. I spent 2 mana. Works out in my math book. So now we'll see what he's got for us next. Or she. I don't know. Rain could be a female name. I don't know. That's an interesting play. Okay, so what does that mean? Now, if that guy's frozen, does that mean that he doesn't... Well, I guess we'll... It makes absolutely no sense to cast any creatures, because there's no way I'm going to get rid of that. Unless frozen means... I don't know if frozen characters lose their next attack. So, okay, so that ability is still going to fire either way. So, I guess in this case, we will counterspell and hit him for 2. Yeah, sure. Okay, sounds good. I guess I don't have anything else to do. Interesting play out of that Doomsayer so early, but who am I to judge? Whenever you cast a spell, summon a phone, one Violet Apprentice. What do I want to do? That's whenever you cast a spell, yeah, so I'm going to counter that immediately. I could freeze that. He's a 3/5, so... boy, I don't know. 3/5, yeah. I guess we will do that for the card draw. Works for me. That's also something that he can't just outright kill with what he has on the board. I mean, he could with the Fireball, but I mean, without spending mana, he can't outright kill the 4/4. My guess is that he's going to go after playing a spell because of his little ability there, so hopefully it'll be something reasonably large and I can counter it with the one secret that I have in my deck that I was reluctant to take on that first card. Yep, that's going to totally counter it. Right? Oh, wow, so he still gets the 1/1 though. That's kind of unfortunate. So, now he's got to be asking himself what he wants to do. Do you trade characters there? I think he might have to. Yeah.
Time runs out on me.
Yep. That's kind of what I expected. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. So 6 mana is pretty good. I like the card draw here, so we'll definitely do that.
I hope you like my invention.
Get a Fireball, always a positive. Then we'll play our Taunt. Ooh, if we play our Taunt, then I can't use... Well, I wanted to do this to make sure that I got rid of that, and then we'll make sure that our spells are even cheaper. That means that unless he deals with this 3/2, I have Pyroblast at my disposal next turn. Although I doubt that I would go after that immediately anyway. Boy, I have a lot of I wonder, does... Oh, minions does not include character. Never mind. I knew the answer to that already. I was wondering if I could Frost Nova and then Ice Lance to hit the opposing player, but that's obviously not something that's going to work. But if I can whittle him down a little bit, I really do have enough here to... Okay, so you're going for extra card draw, I guess? That's the way it appears. Youthful Brewmaster. Yeah, do your 1 damage, I'm fine with that. I'm tempted to freeze... his characters just so I can get a little bit of board control here. Let me think about this a minute. Freeze all enemy minions, or I could fireball for free and freeze him. Do 4 damage. That leaves me with 5 mana. That's enough to get some more board control. I don't want to put too much out there because of his ability to deal with it, though, because he's got to have all the same kind of damaging cards as me. So, regardless, we're going to give this a shot. So we'll freeze that dude. Hit for 4 damage. Now we'll make a decision about what we want to pull out. I guess we'll do the taunt. Do the taunt. That gives him something to deal with. And really, like I said, I'm just playing to get him down to 16 at this point. Which is pretty sweet, if you ask me. I'd have plenty more like direct damage cards in my deck, so we'll see what happens, I guess. And I have no problem with him hemming and hawing over what he wants to do. I would prefer that a player do that than the alternative. I want to see the best game possible. Can't learn if you're going to do ridiculously little things. That was an interesting play. He's got to have something that he wants to do here. So that's the same card draw that he had before. It's an interesting play. It's kind of an expensive way to continually draw a card. So now I'm starting to get into the I'm just going to bash you with everything sort of standpoint. I don't want to pull out the other card. It seems silly to not use a fireball. Let me think about this. I got 12 damage there plus another 10 there. I think I win on the next turn. So we'll Frost Nova to make sure that... Oh, the effect took a little bit to show up there. I was getting a little nervous at that. And then I think we'll just deal 2 fireballs to him, and unless he kills me on the next turn or heals himself considerably, I have enough mana to Pyroblast for the win. I think I've controlled this as well as I could, so I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure that's game over. I suppose he could theoretically have a counter spell or something that he would pop on there, but he also has to deal with my creatures. So I'm making my board actually somewhat threatening with these pretty mediocre creatures out there. Not terribly mediocre. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't like pulled Flame Strike or something like that to wipe the board. It's part of the reason why I froze his minions, just to, you know, ensure that he didn't have some extra attack up his sleeve or some boosting potential, but like I said, we're really just waiting for him to go. As long as it doesn't include a heal, it should be game over. Okay. Have I seriously just locked him down that good? And all he's got is his 1 damage shots?
Time runs out on me.
Yeah. Okay. That's more mana he uses bringing out creatures, the less mana he has to use to, you know, do one of the things that I mentioned already. So, longer that he takes to do that, it's probably a pretty solid play. And all right.
Well played.
I feel kind of bad just like outright doing 10 damage to him straight like that, because there's, you know, very few things that you can do about that other than stay above that amount of damage. But yeah, So far, I'm kind of liking this deck. Although, granted, I did not play against a deck with a tremendous amount of board control or anything like that. Nothing particularly threatening. He had an awful lot of cards in his hand at the end of that. I'm confused as to what he was holding on to with 8 mana there that, you know, didn't seem like a good play. Going up against Katie's, a Thrall, or Thrall, a Shaman. And this is not a bad starting hand by any means. I think Coin Pint-Sized Summoner is about the right answer here, unless I'm really surprised by something. We got our freezing capabilities again right off the bat, as long as he has no way to deal with. Wow, that's an interesting play for the first turn. I think I would have held on to that, but I mean, who am I to judge? So yeah, we're going to coin Pint-Sized Summoner, which will allow us to bring out the Ironfur Grizzly on the next turn. It's a second turn 3/3 taunt is pretty nice. Assuming that he doesn't. Yeah, okay, he's got something. Wow. I don't like overload cards. I don't like how that hamstrings you. But okay, I guess I'm alright with that. Then I guess, yeah, we don't really have anything else to do, so we'll just zap him for 1. This Polymorph. Man, I got a lot of control cards in my hand. Oh, goody, a healing totem. Is that just minions, or does that include all friendly minions? So that should not include him. Yeah, so we got our 3/3 taunt. Took a turn longer than I thought it was going to, but not such a big deal. So far, you know, I'm kind of liking this deck. I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, 0/1 Frog with taunt. That's kind of rude. But that's fine. I guess I'd rather you waste that on him. I wonder how much does that actually cost? Hex. 3. So 3 will turn into 0/1 with taunt. 4 will turn him into 1/1 without taunt. Good to know. Kind of want to hold on to that, but I don't think I have another play right now, so whatever, I guess we will throw that out. Or we could just... Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. That allows me to control his healing totem there. I can finally get rid of that, I guess. So I'm losing the battle cry on that, but whatever, 4/2, he's got to deal with it. 2 to 3 damage all in. Minions again with the overload. Man, I don't like... I can't judge. I've never played as a shaman, but I do not like hamstringing yourself like that. Just not a fan of that. Well, that seems like the obvious play because none of the rest of these things make any sense. So, okay, let's draw 2 cards, see what we get. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty potent on the next turn. I don't see any point in firing at one of these guys because that healing totem neutralizes my hero power pretty much. So I might as well just take a hit off of him. Well, that's taunt creatures, but not particularly scary. And I could always polymorph that if I wanted to. You know, if it came down to me needing to get a little bit of board control that way. Yeah, I think it makes sense to bring out the Gurubashi Berserker here. I don't see any, like, immediate danger of doing that, so... This is a weird match. Weird match. What can you do? I'm going to apologize real quick here for the audio on my game going out. Every time I lose focus on that, that's what ends up happening, so that's the best I can do. So 2/3 Wind Fury. Now, this seems like the perfect opportunity to Flame Strike. I have 2 in my hand. I'm going to wipe the board with a lot of his stuff. Plus, I can make this guy bigger after hitting dude over here. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer, I guess. And now I've got a 5/6 creature. Yeah, I'm all right with this. I'm totally alright with this. Okay. Whenever minion dies, gain +1 attack. Give adjacents. This seems like another opportunity for Flame Strike to me, I guess. I'm not going to complain about that. Oh, you sure you don't want to hit my 5/6? Come on. That seems like totally the right play for you. Yeah, I think I got to go with another Flame Strike here. What's really happening here is I'm gaining a huge card advantage because he's playing 2 and 3 cards on these turns, and I'm playing 1 and handling it, you know, properly. And that's not a judgment on his play. I'm just saying that, you know, it's working out in my favor that way. +2 attack, so he's going to do 3 damage. Yeah, okay, that's not enough to hit me directly, so... adjacent minions have +1 attack. Spell damage +1, draw a card. What are these guys? This is... Oh, that's only for that turn, too. Wow, okay. I guess that doesn't really scare me, per se. Boy, I don't know. I could buff him a little bit with Direwolf Alpha, hit him again. He'll be even more powerful, do direct damage that way. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Start seeing if we can make this roll a little bit out of control. We'll even throw out a Frost Nova to make sure that he can't attack with those guys. Hit him for 9, and then what else is left? I guess we'll throw out our secret just in case he happens to have something. I don't know. This is a weird match. Weird match. Those couple of Flame Strikes in my hand have totally made this a game for me. At the end of your turn, summon a 2/2 something with taunt. I missed that. What is that? 2/2 null with taunt. Okay. Okay, so now we're in a little bit stranger spot, I guess. We got Polymorph and Freeze. Oh, that's at the end of every turn, summon 2/2 with taunt. So that is a guaranteed Polymorph, I think. Then I don't know, I guess. It would be nice to take out one of his guys. I can kill off one of the taunts, gain a little bit more, but if I gain too much there, then I will not... He'll get killed, and I don't particularly want to do that, so I guess we'll go with... I guess we'll kill that guy off. Kill off that taunt. That doesn't hurt us at all. And then bring out spells cost 1 less. Sure. And you know what? Can't be targeted. There. There. Now that... Oh, I missed the... I forgot that he had the weapon. So that's going to be a little bit better for him, obviously. Okay, so he's probably going to... Oh, totally countering that. Boy, that worked out really well. I could not have asked for a better result there, I think. Give your minions +3 attack this turn. Okay, well that's a better result than before. Yep, figured you'd want to do that. Do your 1 damage, I'm fine with that. Summon a random totem. What does this one do? Spell damage +1? I'm not real concerned about that. So we can grab... you know what? I might as well draw the card. Card draw at this point pretty important. You know what? He's top decking. I've got 19 life. I could just flat out deal 7 damage to him. Or I could draw 2 cards. Why am I getting cute? Let's just deal the 7 damage. That puts him in a needs to deal with me kind of scenario. Yeah. And I guess we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do that. Because that way, if he does have something that buffs attack or something like that, then he's buffing a 0 instead of a 1, which may or may not help. Oh, okay. So that worked out perfect for him. But that's fine. I have some card draw. Maybe if I'm lucky, I will draw a fireball. Nope. Okay. But regardless, this puts me in a fine situation. We got a 3/6 with taunt, and you know, I could pull out Direwolf Alpha. I don't really see the point in that. We'll get rid of the thing that he has that can do damage. Why not? I need a way to deal with all these taunt creatures that he keeps coming out with. Wind Fury Overload. Okay, so that's kind of a worthless card, considering I've got my hero power as an instant counter to that. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting and weird choice. So okay, I mean, and not that he necessarily had another choice, but that's kind of a worthless thing. I guess we'll drop this guy. Might as well kill his taunt. And then, yeah, we can do that. And then, sure, I guess we'll freeze his minions again, because why not? I would imagine he's going to concede now. Or do you have an answer to this? That's not an answer. Hoping for a taunt? Yeah, you got the taunt. That's not going to be good enough. I am not going to be a dick and play that, even though part of me wants to. Because I'm not like that. That was one of the longer games that I've had in a while. So, yeah, I'm so far liking this mage victory. Man, and earned me some more gold. That's pretty fantastic. Actually, I think we're going to take this as an opportunity to take a break. Probably play 1 or 2 more games yet tonight. But if you're hanging around in the Twitch stream, please continue to do so. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I would love a like and or subscribe. Would help me get out more videos of this or better quality to everyone out there. So yeah, we'll see you next time. I'll be right back for you Twitch viewers.